On the ancient towns of India, we will be discussing Uthiramerur, the birthplace of democracy in India. And this is brought to you by my YouTube channel, TVG-India-Heritage. I'm Dr. TV Geeta. Please do subscribe to the channel. Uthiramerur is the birthplace of grassroots democracy in India, and it is famous because more than 1100 years ago it had earliest recorded detailed system of village self-governance during the Chola period. It is in the Kanchipuram district of Tamil Nadu, about 85 kilometers from Chennai, and it is also a UNESCO recognized for its historical significance. The historical background is that it was ruled by the Pallavas during the 8th century. It was founded by Pallava king Nandivarman. He established a Brahmadaya village, that is land granted to Brahmins for learning and religious purposes. And he developed a center for Vedic administration. And next came the Chola period, the 9th and 10th century. It was established and expanded significantly under Parantaka Chola I. Village administration became highly organized and democratic election procedures were inscribed on temple walls. This is something that is unique. And then came the Vijayanagara period where temples were renovated and village administration continued with some modification. Now, the famous temples of Uthiramerur are the Sundaravarada Perumal Koil. This is the largest one. It is built by the Pallavas and expanded by the Cholas and has rich sculptural work. Vaikunta Perumal temple is the one that mainly houses the famous governance inscriptions. Then Kailasanada temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. It has a Pallava architectural style. Then comes the Uthiramerur inscription, for which the town is most famous for. It is carved mainly on the walls of the inscription, on the walls of Vaikunta Perumal Koil. And the language used was Tamil with Grantha script were required for Sanskrit words. Number of inscriptions more than 50 from different periods. These inscriptions are among the most detailed surviving records of medieval village governance in South India, and so that's why it's very famous. So here we start with what this governance is. One is the Kudavolai system, the ancient democratic election system of the Chola period, right back in 9th and 10th century. Here, this is what is done. Eligible candidates' names were written on palm leaves. It was rolled and put in a kodam or a pot. This palm leaves is the olai and kodam is the pot. That's why it's called Kudavolai. A young boy who's considered as impartial, was made to pick a palm leaf from the pot, and the name was read out, and the selected person became a member of the committee. So the qualifications are very strict for the candidates. Candidates must satisfy several conditions. He must own land and be a resident of that village. He must pay taxes, be educated in the Vedas or some other specified in the village's governance system, be between prescribed age, between 35 and 70 years, have good character, honest, good conduct, and should be financially responsible and have no criminal record. The purpose of this was to ensure that experienced and trustworthy individuals manage public affairs. But there are also some disqualification rules. If he failed to submit accounts for holding office, misused public money, committed theft or serious offences, accepted bribes, violated community rules, held office continuously beyond prescribed limits, had close relatives already serving in certain committee positions, were specified to reduce conflict of interest. These rules promoted accountability and public confidence. And there is a structure for the village administration. There were elected committees called Varyams, and each committee had clearly defined duties and fixed terms of office. So one is the Samvatsara Varyam or the annual committee. This had 12 members. They supervised the general administration of the village and coordinated the works of the different committees. And usually they included experienced members who had previously served on other committees. Then you have the AD Varyam or the tank committee. This is consisted of 6 members. They manage the irrigation tanks, canals, and water distribution and ensured proper maintenance of water resources for agriculture. Then you have the Thotavarium or the garden committee, which consists of 12 members. They maintain village gardens, orchards, agricultural lands, and supervise cultivation and related public works. Then you had the Ponvarium or the gold committee, which consisted of 6 members. They looked after the village finances, gold reserves, and treasury, and they verified the purity and management of gold used in public affairs and in temples. Then you have the Panchavara Varyam or the standing committee, which consists of 6 members. They manage the routine administration and supervise revenue collection and the implementation of village decisions. Uh, the inscription actually does not describe all the functions in detail, but this is the crux of it. Then you have, why is this system, Uthiramerur system, important? The governance system right back then introduced several advanced principles 1100 years ago. Democratic elections first, representatives selected through a transparent process. Accountability, members had to maintain proper financial records. Fixed tenure, committee members serve only for defined periods. Rotation of leadership, regular changes reduce concentration of power. Community participation. Local residents took an active role in governance. Many of these ideas resemble principles found in modern local self-governance. So the key takeaway is that ancient center of village administration, famous Kudavole election system, Chola era democratic principles were inscribed on the walls of the temple. It's remarkable temple architecture and lasting symbol of India's rich administrative heritage. Uthiramerur is a legacy of democracy and reminds us that good governance depends on transparency, responsibility, and active participation of the community. Thank you.